Hey everyone. So today I am going to take you with me to two different stores and we are going to get the ingredients for making a meal for four people for $5 or less. Okay? So let's see how it goes. Alright, so here it is. I'm going to use the change I have. I have a total of $5 and then there's 55 cents for tax. And that's stuff I found like in my couch, in the car, on the street, on a sidewalk. So that's what we got. That's what we're shopping with. Not a penny more. Our first stop is going to be Price Rite. It's one of the cheapest places I know, and the quality of their stuff is really great. Okay, we're here at Price Rite. This is where we're stopping first. Okay, so for the first thing I got here is Bowl & Basket tomato sauce. It's just plain sauce. They're only 49 cents a can, so we'll get two of those. Okay, and next we got their brand of rigatoni, and that is 99 cents a box, and it's a big box. It has, let's see, it's a pound of it, so that's plenty for four people. Okay, so I could get tomato paste to go with the sauce, and it's only 89 cents a can, but I happen to have an open can at home that what I do so it doesn't go bad is you put it in a Ziploc bag, freeze it, flatten it out, and then freeze it, and then you can break off pieces as you need it, and it stays good for just about forever. So I'm not going to bother getting any herbs or anything like that today because most people have stuff that we can use in their pantry already. So we're going to bypass that and go for other ingredients. Okay. So I just left the store. The only other thing I picked up aside from the 2 cans of pasta sauce and the box of pasta was 1 Roma tomato. That's it. Okay, so our total so far, this is only store 1, our total so far came to $2.67. So subtract that from the $5.55 we started with and we'll go from there. Okay, and our next stop is the Dollar Tree, where everything used to be $1, but now it's $1.25. Okay, so the next thing we found is a jar of sliced mushroom pieces and stems. That's $1.50. Okay, along with the mushrooms, I am also going to get a jar of marinated red pepper strips. Those are also $1.50. Okay, so we just left Dollar Tree. We left with the jar of mushroom stems and pieces and the jar of marinated red pepper strips, okay? That came to $3 even. I only had $2.88 left, so I gave him $2 in cash and then $1 on my card, which means, yes, I did go over. However, when I left, I found a quarter on the sidewalk. So actually, now I'm under budget by, 16 cents or something like that? Don't ask me to do math. I'm not good at it. Anyways, we're going to take this stuff home, and I'm going to show you how to prep it and cook it up and have an amazing meal for 4 people. Okay, so these are the things that we picked up from the store together, all right? That's what costs just over $5.55. So we got the rigatoni, the 2 cans of tomato sauce, a plum tomato, a jar of mushroom stems and pieces, and a jar of marinated red pepper. I went through my fridge. If you do this yourself, I'm sure you will find something. Trust me on this. And I found a little bit of grated cheese. So we got that. And then with herbs, almost everyone I know has at least some of these in their pantry. We've got oregano. We've got garlic powder. We've also got Italian seasonings. And then onion powder. So that's the ingredients we're going to use today to make dinner for 4. And it was just barely over $5. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I drained the marinated red pepper strips. We're going to put them all out on here. See, empty. Okay. Don't need that anymore. I have a nice sharp knife. Hopefully you do too. Now this even came with a delicious clove of garlic, which we are absolutely going to use. That's just a free bonus. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And we're just going to dice these up. Don't have to be super small. It doesn't have to be, you know, consistent, because it's just going to go in the sauce anyways. I could do this better, but again, I'm a lefty, so you won't be able to see it as well. Alright. So those are chopped up, not super fine or anything. You don't need it super fine. I'm going to put these right in this bowl here, so that I have them for later. I don't want to waste any of it. Alright. Then we're going to chop up this tomato. This is how I do it. You can do it any way you want. Cut off the top. Cut off the bottom. Cut it in half. See, in half. And then I'm going to cut it again, and again, and again. So that one tomato so far now is 8 pieces, right? And then we're just going to give those 8 pieces a large chop. So they're nice big chunks, because when those go into the sauce, they're going to help add texture and a heck of a lot of flavor. Alright, so there's that. Again, we're going to put this all in the bowl, because this is all going to go together. So easy. Oh my gosh, so easy. So remember before at the store I told you I froze tomato paste? Look how thin it is. See how thin it is? It makes it so easy. Then when I'm going to use some, I just snap some off and boom, there it is. It's ready to go. So I broke off a little piece of the tomato paste and had the oven on, or the stovetop on high, and then melted it down into the bottom of the pan. Once that was melted and started sizzling a little, I turned the heat way down, added the 2 cans of tomato sauce, just the plain tomato sauce, okay? And I also added the Italian seasoning, about 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of it. I added about a half a teaspoon of onion powder, as well as a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now I'm going to add some oregano, because I love oregano. And then I also added the peppers and the tomatoes that we chopped and cut up a little while ago. Okay? You're just going to let that simmer for a little bit. Right now you have it on a low heat, because you don't want anything to burn. Then you're going to take the can of or the jar of mushrooms that you had. You're going to drain it, and then you're going to add it to the sauce. The whole thing. Again, we're cooking for 4 today, not just me. See how that sauce is thickening up real nice? It's just that plain tomato sauce that I got from Price Right. Again, it was like 49 cents for a can. Alright, we're going to let that simmer for a while. And while that's doing that, we're going to get the pot of water boiling for the pasta. Okay, so the water is boiling. I am going to add salt. Always add it after the water starts boiling, or it's going to scorch the bottom of your pan, okay? And that free clove of garlic we got, boom, right in the water, because that's going to end up subtly flavoring the pasta with a little bit of garlic. And we are going to add our pasta, the same box that we got from the store just a little while ago. There you go, whole thing. Give it a good stir. Alright, and then we're going to let that boil for about 11 minutes. Okay, So the pasta's been boiling for just about 11 minutes. I'm not going to leave it in the entire time because we're going to strain it because it's still going to keep cooking once we add the sauce and stuff to it. Okay, so the pasta's strained. I reserved about a little over, well, let's see, 2/3 of a cup of the water that the pasta was boiling in because it's nice and starchy, and that's going to actually help the sauce to cling to the pasta even better. So I'm just going to add that in. Okay. Now we've got our wonderful sauce that's been simmering away. As you can see, it's gotten nice and thick and full of goodness. Alright. Now, unlike some people who just put their pasta on a plate, I like to actually add this sauce to the pasta because who wants naked pasta? Alright. A bunch to it. I'm going to add just about all of it, but I'm going to save some so I can add more later if I want. Alright. I'm going to mix this up. Oh my god, it smells so good. Like, so good. Dang. Alright, I'm going to put this in a plate, or on a plate, and show you the final product, and there you go. And there you go. It's ready to eat. Now, I left the cheese off for now because if you're a vegetarian, this is perfect just the way it is. There's no meat whatsoever. I don't think there's any dairy because there's no cheese. But I love grated cheese on top, so of course I'm going to have to add some. Alright, there is your dinner for four for, well, under $5.50. Well, under $5.60. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I gave you some ideas, especially when I was at the store. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get. It's really cheap nowadays. Much cheaper than you would think. If you did like it, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with people, alright? Have an awesome day.